Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Chris Maloney back with you for another edition of CWN Recap. ROH Final Battle 2020 took place live last night on Fight, as well as Honor Club, as well as they had Hour 1 take place on 6 different platforms, including Facebook and YouTube, Honor Club, as well as Fight, and then Stir City, and then Best on the Planet as well. So my old age could not keep up last night, so I ended up watching the event in 2 parts. So I watched most of it last night, all the way up to the Shane Taylor versus Jay Briscoe match, and then I watched that match this morning, as well as the semi-main event and then the main event. But again, my age is getting up there. So, but it is done. So right now I am live on Twitch. But you will see this premiere on YouTube for sure at 3 p.m. today, as well as hopefully Facebook as well, as long as I can get the show uploaded in time. But definitely on YouTube today at 3 p.m. So if you're tuning in at all on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube, or you're listening to audio, thank you very much. But like I said, this is CWN Recap, ROH Final Battle 2020, which took place last night on Fight, as well as ROH Honor Club. So they had 8 matches announced, and I think they added 2. So it ended up being a 10-match show, which was absolutely great to see for ROH, because of the fact they have been sidelined as far as the pay-per-views go for a year now. Last pay-per-view they actually had was Final Battle 2019, and then they come out with Final Battle 2020 last night, and it looks like it's going to be a good year for them next year, the way that everything turned out last night. But Hour 1, like I said, was for free on the 6 different platforms there. Commentators were Ian Riccaboni, Caprice Coleman, as well as Dalton Castle. They announced 4 guys unable to compete due to COVID-19 right away. So that would have been Kenny King, EC3, Flamita, as well as Bandito. Those guys were off the show. But the announcers, commentators wanted to make sure the fans knew about that immediately. So match number 1 of the night, 4-corner survival match. 2 guys in the ring at the very same time. It was Dak Draper, Tony Deppen, LSG, and Josh the Goods Woods, who I had predicted. Unfortunately, I was wrong with this. Final moments of the match, though, they all look strong. All 4 of these guys look strong. But final moments of the match, Woods looked ready to have Draper submit it, and then Tony Deppen comes in out of nowhere by pinfall and gets the pin on LSG. So that is the way that played out. So Tony Deppen going to face Dragon Lee for the ROH Television Championship later on in the show. We have a lot of backstage promos taking place, one of them being Quinn McKay with Tony Deppen next. So that's immediately following the match. Backstage promo number 2. She's with Shane Taylor Promotions. As this is taking place, Dalton Castle says that basically he leaves the announcer's desk and says basically if Ray Horace is in the building, that he deserves the match. And like as this is taking place, that is the end of Dalton Castle on commentary there. So another backstage promo, Quinn McKay with Brian Johnson. Then we go to Jay Briscoe arrives at the building. Then we get another backstage promo, Quinn McKay with Jay Briscoe, Mark Briscoe, and then Shane Taylor. So obviously you can see the setup taking place there. The interesting thing about this was that Jay said he was now a free man because he no longer had a match with the EC3. Went up to Mark and basically said, "Hey, do you want to tag team?" And Mark was like, "No, man, you missed your boat, so to speak." So Mark staying with PCO for his tag team championship match. And like I said, Shane Taylor was involved in this as well. So match number 2 of the night on the pre-show, the Hour 1. Which looked like it was on the main show when I think I did the prediction show. But match number 2 on the pre-show, like I said, Hour 1 was Fred Ehe, as well as Wheeler Yuta taking on the Foundation. That was Rhett Titus, as well as Tracy Williams. First ever Pure Rules tag team match taking place. Very hard-hitting match, lots of offense by Yehi, as well as Yuta. So they made the young guys look strong. Williams and Titus end up defeating the 2 guys, though, by submission after Williams made Yuta tap out to the STF. And then the Code of Honor was adhered to in this match. And that will play into the event, the whole ROH Code of Honor thing. Pure Rules especially. But the fact is, when it comes down to the whole show, a lot of respect between the workers on the show there. Then we get to the main show. Commentators Riccaboni, Coleman, and Castle is no longer there, so it just came down to Riccaboni as well as Caprice Coleman. Ring announcer, of course, Bobby Cruz, the one and only Bobby Cruz. Match number 1 is the Foundation. So Jay Lethal, Jonathan Gresham defending the championships, the ROH World Tag Team Championships against Mark Briscoe and PCO. Gresham ends up pinning PCO with a roll-up to retain after miscommunication between PCO and Briscoe. So a hard-hitting match between the two teams there. Honestly, it is what it is. I mean, I would have thought this would be the start of the separation of Lethal and Gresham, except for the fact you've got that Foundation name and that Foundation gimmick that is now part of ROH. So the fact is, they want to build this faction strong, and it came down to the very end of the show where you can see the way that everything is going to take place going into 2021. But like I said, unfortunately, PCO doesn't get another championship. Miscommunication between the two. No blows or anything like that. But the fact is, Gresham pins PCO with a roll-up to retain. So this was Jonathan Gresham's first match of the night. Match number 2, Ray Horace taking on Dalton Castle, and he's got the boys back with him. So it was kind of cool to see. They didn't accompany him ringside, so a lot of the valets, managers, so to speak, only walked them to the stage, and then basically the performers went down to the ring by themselves. But it was still cool to see Dalton Castle with the boys. Castle with sanitizer hookup before entering the ring, so that was kind of unique. The boys did not go ringside, like I had said, but the end of the match came. Horace defeats Castle by pinfall after hitting the tornado driver. So Ray Horace ends up defeating Dalton Castle, former world champion there. So that was match number 2 for the main show. Match number 3, grudge match taking place. This was the OGK. So the original Kingdom, Matt Taven as well as Michael Bennett taking on the Righteous, who was Vincent and Bateman. They had Vita Von Star alongside with them. Final moment, spike pile driver on Bateman, gets a 2 counts. Coley driver by Bennett on Bateman outside of the ring, or outside of ring on the apron, which looked like it hurt. Aurora Borealis by Taven on Vincent, but Vincent got his knees up. This is in the ring. And then Taven hits Aurora Borealis on Aurora Borealis by Taven on Vincent, as Vincent is being held between himself and the ring outside. So basically, Bennett has got him lined up. He's got basically him resting in between the ring and Bennett, and then Taven comes off the top. A devastating move there. Shining Wizard backpack stunner on Bateman. Bennett ends up getting the pin. Post match, Von Star low blows both Bennett and Taven. So that is the beginning of the end for the celebrations by both Taven as well as Bennett. Heels go on a violent attack. Vincent zip ties Taven to the ring ropes. Von Star chokes Taven out. Vincent grabs a 4x4 and a chair, places the 4x4 in between Bennett's ankles, nails a chair shot. Riccaboni is freaking out at this point, and then asks for a promo to be played. So that is the way they ended that. The heels look strong. Faces won the match, but the heels look strong going off the air into that promo that Riccaboni was requesting. Match number 4, which I think was originally supposed to be on the hour 1, but is now on the main show. So Danhausen taking on Brian Johnson. ROH contracts on the line if Danhausen wins. Danhausen with almost a 3 count after his first move, so it looked like it was going to be quick. Danhausen then asked for his music to be played. His music hits, and then he hits an outside move, which was kind of comical. First time I've ever actually seen this guy. I've heard about him, of course, but the first time I've actually seen him wrestle, I think they announced him as being 300 pounds, and so I think I was doing something, and all of a sudden I go to sit back down, and I see this guy's not 300 pounds, but it's that type of gimmick, Johnson makes a comeback, grabs the mic, and does his own commentary while destroying Danhausen. Continues to refer to him as a clown. Danhausen comeback, Mike Bailey, Alex Shelley references by Ian Riccaboni there. Goodnight Hausen hit 2 count thanks to the ropes. Teeth get dumped onto Danhausen. Not sure what that's about. I'm going to have to look into it. Ref bump, no ref 2 count, Johnson's pin. Danhausen then with the Eddie Guerrero mic spot. So he takes the mic, rubs it on his forehead, and he's got, he's covered in makeup, so to speak. and all of a sudden now the mic is covered with basically his makeup, making it look like Johnson had hit him. Well, referee comes to it, looks at the mic, looks at Danhausen being knocked out, and all of a sudden Johnson's pleading, and ref calls for the bell. So Danhausen wins by DQ and ends up winning the ROH contract there. So a good match, and like I said, first time I ever saw Danhausen, so it was kind of cool there. Dragon Lee versus Tony Deppen, ROH Television Championship on the line next. Lee comes out with Amy Rose. Amy Rose does not accompany him down to the ring, but does go on commentary. So Deppen goes to shake hands. Lee gives him the finger in the ring. This is the first time that the LFI isn't too happy as far as the match starts. I'll get into that more. Rose with a lot of Spanish commentary, but states this is going to be a piece of cake. And then Deppen, right after that comment was made, goes and comes out with a lot of offense. Heavy 2 counts there. Series of high offense moves. Both guys are down. Deppen with a somersault neckbreaker off the top, 2 count. Deppen with a running knee with a 2 count. Lee with a poison rana running knee, 2 count. And then Lee with the incernation, I think it's called. But it's an incernation knee, and he gets the pin that way. So Dragon Lee retains and is still your ROH television champion there. Match number 6 of the night. This was not it was not represented, but it was not announced before the show. But match number 6, Jay Briscoe versus Shane Taylor with SOS ringside. I was going to say, it, if you're familiar with CWN Recap, I always do match of the night, wrestler of the night. This came a very close second to my match of the night right here. Basically a hard hitting match. So like I said, Jay Briscoe taking on Shane Taylor, code of honor adhere to. Taylor lands a hard right, and Jay sold it like he got KO'd by Mike Tyson. It was a good spot. Jay Briscoe is probably one of the greatest non-WB guys in the history of the business there, but he's selling like crazy there for Shane Taylor. Hard-hitting action outside the ring. 1 point Taylor states to Briscoe, you can't talk tough if you can't breathe, which makes a lot of sense, but kind of a comedy spot there. Moments later, Briscoe hits Taylor with the Spicoli driver, so seeing a guy that size, Shane Taylor on top of Jay Briscoe's shoulders there, absolutely phenomenal move, to see. Mark Briscoe come down to the ring for support. Taylor moves great for a big guy, was a comment I had made there, and he does. Taylor hits Marcus Garvey driver for a 2 count. Taylor nails welcome to the land following. He ends up getting a 3 count, and then basically post-match code of honor and then respect by Mark Briscoe, Jay Briscoe, and then Shane Taylor as SOS kind of just stood in the corner and supported their guy. But like I said, a very, very close second as far as match of the night goes. So that was match number 6. Match number 7. Jonathan Gresham's second match of the night, taking on Flip Gordon for the Pure Championship. Gresham enters with the foundation, but then he heads to the ring alone. Gordon uses 2 rope breaks in the first 3 minutes. Third and final at the 7-minute mark. Gordon's super kick. Gresham uses his first rope break. Gresham misses a top rope crossbody, hurts his left knee in the process. Gordon, of course, capitalizes. Gordon with the STF. Gresham uses the second rope break. Gordon Falcon Arrow 2 count, locks in the FTF, which in Flip Gordon's case stands for the submit to flip. Again, third and final rope break by Gresham. Then we go Gordon with the closed fist and a warning at the 20-minute mark. Gordon with the STF. Gresham reaches the ropes, but at this point, the ropes don't matter. And then he basically forces both guys to head outside, so they're on the outside now. Gresham follows up with a hammerlock superplex for a 2 count. Gresham hits a series of running forearms. Flip tries to get up. He can't. Basically, referee steps in, calls for the bell, mixed martial arts style, and then Gresham wins by KO, 24-37. So a 25-minute match there between the two. Phenomenal athletes. They played. Gresham kept playing on, I think, Flip Gordon's left arm, and then basically Flip Gordon kept playing on the knee of Jonathan Gresham. So they were both working body parts the whole match there. Post-match, Gordon refuses to shake Gresham's hand leaves the ring. Ricky Bonney and Coleman criticized Gordon on commentary. Basically said he didn't want to be part of the pure division. All he wanted to do was basically have a championship there in ROH. So I can't disagree with that. Match number 8, main event of the night. Roosh taking on Brody King. ROH World Championship on the line. Brody attempts to shake hands, but Roosh kicks it away. At least he didn't give him the finger, but he didn't feel like honoring the code there, alongside his brother Dragon Lee. Riccaboni states defending ROH World Champions are 11-5 at Final Battle in the main event. Brody nails Roosh with a dive through the ropes. Brody destroying Roosh on the outside, rolls into the ring at 16, and then rolls out again. Brody looks under the ring for weapons, doesn't find any, and grabs chairs from the announcer's table. Brody sets up the chairs on the ground, body slams Roosh onto them, followed by a running senton. So obviously the offense by Brody's absolutely outstanding at this point. Brody teases a push. Brody teases putting. Try this again. Brody teases putting Roosh through the announcer's table, but tosses him back in the ring instead. Brody lands the King Cannonball for a 2 count. Roosh grabs the bottom rope. Battle outside at this point. Roosh over the ropes onto Brody. Roosh continues the attack, uses the barricade door to slam onto King's head. Sinclair yells, so Todd Sinclair, referee, yells at Roosh to get back in the ring. He says, sure. Rolls in, rolls out. So basically, the alpha male, so to speak, being a little bit of a dickhead. But anyways, Roosh being Roosh, so to speak. Where are we here? So we go into he rolled out of the ring, and then all of a sudden he goes and attacks King with a cable. Todd Sinclair furious, but the match continues. Roosh plays to the crowd, which is absolutely nobody, looks at the camera and then asks if he was missed, and then locks in a triangle chokehold over the ropes before posing. Roosh goes for the running corner kick. The bull's horn stops, and then paintbrushes King instead with his foot. So basically, again, just being a jerk. Roosh poses in the middle of the ring. Brody charges. Roosh nails an overhead suplex instead, so 2 count. King with a comeback, both on the top rope. Brody sets up for the Pepsi plunge, but Roosh blocks. Roosh hits a superplex at this point, 2 count. King with the King Slam, 2 count. King with the huge chop in the corner, holds up his fist, and all of a sudden they go back and forth. So they're just, at this point, just beating the crap out of each other. Roosh goes for the bull's horns, but the King counters with the spear, 2 count. Huge lariat by King, and then sets up for the Gonzo Bomb. But as he's setting up for the Gonzo Bomb, Dragon Lee comes down to the ring to distract Todd Sinclair. Then we see the appearance of La Bestia del Ring, who is Roosh's and Dragon Lee's father. He enters the ring with a chair and then nails King over the top of the head with it. Brody at this point is laid out in the corner. Roosh hits the bull's horns, 3 count. Post-match, so Roosh retains the ROH World Championship. Post-match, LFI, celebrating the ring. Obviously the 3 fists going up in the air there, as you've seen in the beginning of the show. And then basically, Foundation appear on the stage. Riccaboni wishes everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy Wrestling. So that is the end of the show. LFI looking strong, looking like they're going to be feuding with the Foundation. A lot of championships in the mix there. So, guys, that was ROH Final Battle 2020. Like I said, I had to do it in 2 parts, but it was a phenomenal show. And as I do every single recap show, I always do this. I do a match of the night, and like I said, very, very close match of the night was Jay Briscoe and Shane Taylor. But match of the night officially is this: Roosh taking on Brody King. So for a main event, not seeing Roosh for the past 9 months or so, Brody King being a monster, the guy who he's supposed to be, no longer associated with, Villain Enterprises. He's out on his own. He looks like championship material, but the match was absolutely phenomenal. And then you throw in La Bestia del Ring at the very end there, and then all of a sudden you get the trio. So, father and sons celebrating. It was an amazing match, hard-hitting match. And then basically, you had that setting up with the Foundation as well. So Roosh versus Brody King is my pick, like I said, for match of the night. Wrestler of the night, hard to argue with this. Jonathan Gresham goes in with 2 championships, defends both championships, comes out with 2 championships. So he is my wrestler of the night there. So again, ROH Pure Champion, he remains, and as well as ROH Tag Team Champion, he remains. And he's, obviously going into a feud, looks like, with LFI, with the Foundation there. So, guys, that is my match of the night, as well as my wrestlers of the night. So I will be back for CWN Predicts tomorrow. heavy weekend again with regards to wrestling, but CWN predicts it's going to be WBTLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2020 taking place live tomorrow, 7 p.m. on the WB Network. But I'll be back for predicts tomorrow live at 3 p.m. That's Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitch. And then we'll be doing the recap show for that about 10:15-ish tomorrow night as well, depending on when the show goes off the air, as always. But guys, ROH Final Battle 2020 was amazing. Like I said, Wrestle of the Night, Jonathan Gresham. Match of the Night, Roosh taking on Brody King. But if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. Go check out the highlights as well as read the recap on ROHWrestling.com. And as well as if you checked out this recap yourself, thank you very much. And hit the like button, subscribe button, and all that jazz. But like I said, I will be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. for CWN Predicts. That is WWTLC. And then tomorrow night as well for CWN Recap, WWTLC as well. So guys, thank you very much for watching and listening. Social media at Chris Maloney CWN, of course. You can check me out there, Twitter, as well as Instagram and Reddit. And like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with WBTLC Recap and Predicts. So thank you very much for watching and listening. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.